Hey everybody, as I come to you this week with our Tekoa talk, I want to talk about what Jesus said so many times. He said this one phrase, and this is what I want to look at today. It's what we're going to look at as a church on Sunday. We're also going to live this out on Saturday. And one of the things that Jesus said countless times was to love our neighbors. He talked about it in multiple verses. He quoted the Old Testament and the laws to love our neighbors. He talked about this when he talked about the greatest commandment. When he told parables about loving not just our neighbors, but loving our enemies. When he told parables, he talked about who is our neighbor. And when he said that, he said everybody is our neighbors. He talked about it in the parable of the Good Samaritan. When he talked about here's the outsider, the one that nobody liked. Who was the neighbor to this man that was hurt on the side of the road? It wasn't the religious person that passed by. It wasn't anybody else that passed by, but it was the person that stopped, cared for the neighbor that they didn't even know, that they didn't have a relationship with, but said, this person is hurt and in need. I'm going to take care of this person's wounds. I'm going to pay for their care, and I'm going to help them out and stop and go out of my way. This is who Jesus said our neighbors are. As a church, we have a value, and this value is called live, love, local. There's two parts to that, and we've kept it together as one bigger value because we said this is who we are as a church. We want to live local. We want to spend our time in our community, those around us. We want to invest in the businesses around us. We want to invest in caring for, keeping our community clean. We want to invest in the relationships of who are our neighbors, literally where we live, who are our neighbors, where we spend our time at work. And who do we invest in? Where do we invest our time? Allie and I think about this when we think about where do we go out for date night? Do we go far away to the best new rated restaurant on Yelp, or do we go to our neighborhood where we've chosen to invest? Sometimes when it's special, maybe it's our anniversary, we'll go to that restaurant. But for the most part, we try to invest locally and spend our time there. And we believe that and we've seen a return on that. Because we're investing more deeply and not just scattering around, we're able to develop relationships. We're able to develop relationships with businesses and people that work at the restaurant. We're able to run into people because we're spending time in our community. And we invest in our neighborhood where we live. We invest in our workplaces. All of this is part of that value of live local. We spend time at the farmer's market because we want to get to know the community, both the people that are shopping there and the vendors, and how do we get to know and invest? The second half of that is to love local. We want to care for our community. We want to care for our neighbors, invest in them. And this is a huge value for us as a church. And all of this together is part of why we're church planning. Because we believe that the investing deeply in the neighborhood around us, that there's a neighborhood that God has called Tekoa Church to, and we want to invest deeply in that neighborhood. We want to love them. We want to support them. We want to serve those in need. We want to help people get connected to the church because we believe that's where people get connected to God. And that's what we believe is how people find and live out their purpose when they get connected to God. So that's what we're doing. We're investing deeply in a neighborhood. And I want to share, as we finish today, I want to share that we're living that out over the next couple of weeks. This Saturday at 5 o'clock, we are having what we're calling a startup party. This is just a chance for us to hang out, have fun over some food. Jesus did this many times. And the majority of this time is just connection and community. This is a great chance for you to come. Maybe you haven't checked out something Tekoa is doing. Come to this. It's a low pressure, fun environment. Come check out the startup party that we're having at Palermo Restaurant in San Jose. That's in the neighborhood we've chosen to invest in as a church. Everything we do is trying to live out this value. I want to invite you to that this Saturday. Come out from 5 to 6 o'clock. We're going to be hanging out, having food, and I'll share just briefly a little bit more about the church and our vision for what God has called us to do as a church, to live, love local. And I want to share about our passion for the community and what we want to do in the community. So come out to that this Saturday. That's one of the ways we're living it out. On Sunday during service, I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper into this value of live, love local and what that means, where we got it from. So I want to invite you to join one of our gatherings online or in person on Sunday. And then the following week, we're going to partner with the community. We just heard last minute they were putting together a parade, an event. Usually it's a parade. This year it's more of a walkthrough event. But this happens every year. It got canceled last year for COVID, and they just got the go-ahead to do this event this year with the restrictions easing. And so we're going to come in as a church and serve. We're going to help set up with some of the vendors and the people that are putting on music, other things. We're going to help set up. We're going to help them during the event. We're going to help tear down. This is a way for us to love our community, come together in this. If you're interested in any of these events coming up, you can find out more on our website under the events tab. And we want to invite you out. Be a part of what we're doing to invest deeply in the community. Personally, I want to invite you into this as well to spend your time in the community, invest with your resources where you spend your money, where you spend your time. Invest deeply in the community around you versus just spreading out all around. So join us for the events and things that we have coming up in the next couple weeks and this summer as we launch Tekoa Church. We are going to live, love local together, and then personally in your own time, I invite you to do that as well. And I think you're going to see some great rewards and returns from investing deeply in your community. So live, love local with us.